Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. I hope your day is off to a great start. Today's video is just a personal life update, and I will tell you right now, there's no juicy gossip or drama or anything surrounding this situation, so I don't want to imply that in any kind of way. But I have gotten a lot of questions, especially over on Instagram, about why I am back to doing floral work when I swore that I would never touch a single bloom for the rest of my life when I shut down my own floral design company. So I thought it might be easier for me to just do this video and kind of explain everything here versus continuing to try to like type this out over on Instagram for everyone who was curious. So I can just send you guys to this video over here. So anyway, all right, if you are new, I will give a little bit of like history here, but not a ton because I don't know, it's not super relevant. But I owned my own floral design company for 12 years. It was something that I ran mostly on my own, at least when it came to all of the behind the scenes stuff. I did have other florist friends who would help me with orders if I needed it, people that would always help me with deliveries and things like that. The one thing about florists is that we tend to be pretty good about kind of, you know, helping each other out when the help is needed. So I always felt like I was supported in terms of, you know, getting the actual orders done. But when it came to running the business, which quite frankly is a very important part of, you know, owning your own company, that was hard. And it was very difficult for me to balance the two. So the bulk of the work that I did was probably, I would say, maybe 70-75% weddings. I did obviously have some corporate clients. I also had some funeral clients. I wish that I would have had a little bit more corporate and funeral work, quite frankly, because I think that I actually enjoyed that a little bit more necessarily than doing weddings. But the thing is that I got really good at weddings. And so I was being referred constantly, and those were the bulk of my inquiries. And I have a mortgage, I have to pay the bills, so I would take on wedding clients. If you've ever worked in the wedding industry, you know that it's not always the easiest. Wedding clients can be very emotional. It is, in a lot of cases, for a lot of people, it's the biggest day of their lives, right? Not only is this an opportunity to commit yourself to the person who you hopefully, ideally, spend the rest of your life with, but it's an opportunity for all of your friends and family to get together and to celebrate that and to have a party and, you know, to make it beautiful and fabulous and yada, 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 right? So weddings come with a lot of pressure because of that. Brides can be highly emotional sometimes, especially leading up to the weddings. And so there's a lot of hand-holding involved. There's a lot of last-minute changes. And sometimes there's family drama. And so you have to work around all of that. And to be completely honest, it can be exhausting, especially when you are not only responsible for actually putting the wedding order together, but for everything else that goes into that as well. So, you know, doing taxes, banking, invoicing, following up on payments. There's so much that goes into running your own business. And I just found myself working all the time. One of the reasons that I originally started my own business, which the very first one that I did was actually a wedding planning company. That was how I came into doing flowers in the first place. One of the main reasons that I did that was so that I could be there for my daughter as much as possible. I thought it would be easier if I was self-employed to spend time with her. And that definitely got to a point where I really wasn't spending the time with her that I actually wanted to, because even when I was with her, you know, clients would be calling me. I would be getting texts, I would be getting emails. And when it comes to bridal clients, they expect immediate response. So, you know, instead of having a job where I had a ton of flexibility, I had a job where it almost became an unbearable amount of pressure. And I didn't want to hire an office manager. Like, the setup that I had didn't really lend itself to even doing that. And yeah, I wasn't interested in doing that. It probably would have made my life easier, but also it was just easier for me with how my brain works to just do it all myself, right? Like, trusting someone else to do the things that were really important, I just had a hard time thinking that I could find someone that I could trust to do those things. And so I just never did. So I was working probably more than I ever did before. And any time that I did have with Stella oftentimes would be interrupted. And it just got to a point where I was like, man, my kid's growing up fast. And then 2020 happened, and obviously the world kind of came to a stop. There were no weddings, there were no corporate events, there were no funerals. Well, there were funerals, but the types of funerals that I used to do were not the types of funerals that were happening during that time. So most people weren't really, you know, ordering flowers and things like that. So it really gave me an opportunity to reevaluate whether I wanted to continue doing this or not. So I decided, no, I don't want to keep doing this. I don't want to run my own company. It was never the flowers themselves. It's not that I hated flowers. It really was everything else. So I decided to shut my own company down. I was still doing, you know, orders here and there for friends, or friends of friends, or, you know, like every once in a while I would get like a random funeral inquiry. Like, I would still do that from time to time, and that was fine. But ultimately I was like, I think it's best that I just walk away from this company. And that was a really, really good decision for me. So for the last little bit here, I've kind of been flitting around here and there doing odd jobs because I am someone who I need to work. One, financially, that's a necessity. And two, I can't sit still. This is why you guys have seen so much content from me here, you know, in the last couple of years, is I've mostly been working like on a part-time basis. And so I've had a little extra time on my hands, but I wasn't loving what I was doing. And so a couple months ago, my friend Paige reached out to me. I've known Paige for a very long time. Actually, her son and my daughter are a month apart. We were pregnant at the same time. Her wedding day was the day after mine. She actually designed my floral bouquet for my wedding. Paige and I have been friends for a hot minute here. And she's been a florist for even a lot longer than I have. I think Paige started working at, she's originally from Iowa, and I think she started at the Hy-Vee, a grocery store. I think I remember her saying it was like a Hy-Vee grocery store or something. So she started in the floral department there and has just been doing flowers basically ever since. She is getting close to 50, so this has been basically her entire life. Now, Paige has been working for, you know, other floral design companies. She's been doing a lot throughout these last few years, but she finally decided to start her own design company again, and it's exploding. She is an incredibly talented florist. She's also she's an amazing businesswoman in a lot of ways, because when it comes to networking, when it comes to connecting with people, when it comes to making people feel like she can literally make their dreams come true. Like, she just excels at this. She has amazing vision and she always gets it done. She always gets it done. Like, this woman, if you give her a task, she will knock it out of the park, right? So because of that, her business is currently exploding. And she reached out to me a couple months ago and was, you know, kind of poking a little bit and asking, so have you thought about potentially going back to doing flowers? And I was like, I don't know. So she said, listen, I have this wedding coming up in October. I think that you would really like this one. It's gonna be beautiful. It is at a private estate. There's kind of a lot going into it, and quite frankly, I need another designer. I need to hire more people for my team, and I know that you are capable. I know, you know, that I can train you on my style, and I know that you can execute what I ask you to. I would really like you to come and work for me, essentially. So I did think about it and I said, okay, well, let's give it a go. So that is why I am back to doing this. Bottom line is that this position is very flexible in a lot of ways. There will be weeks where I am probably working well over 40 hours a week, but there will probably also be a lot of weeks where I am working 10 to 20 hours a week. It's all gonna kind of balance out. And there might even be, you know, a few weeks at a time where she doesn't need me at all. And that, I think, is the work situation that is gonna work best for me at this point in time. So I still have a lot of flexibility. I'm making good money, which, you know, when one has a mortgage and a child is important. And I have the opportunity to use a talent that not a lot of people have, something that is kind of unique and interesting. And quite frankly, I do like designing. Like, that was always the part that made me the happiest, is when I was in my little zone. I had the flowers around me and I was just putting things together, right? Like making bouquets, making corsages, making boutonnieres, making altarpieces, you know, all of that stuff. Like, I can do that. Like, that's not the stressful part for me. The stressful part for me was everything behind the scenes. Again, dealing with the clients, getting paid, making sure that invoices were sent out in time, you know, reaching out to wedding coordinators about timelines. It's all of like the ins and outs that really, after I spent some time thinking about it, were the things that I didn't enjoy being a business owner. Those were the things that I hated. And it was the best decision in the world for me to shut down my own company. And I think it's probably the best decision in the world for me to go back to doing this for someone else. It's also a really good personal challenge, because I don't think that Paige's style could be more different from what my natural style is. I would say that my style, I really enjoy symmetry when it comes to floral design. I really, you know, I like specific colors, I like specific textures, and somehow I always manage to get clients that really, you know, kind of resonated with my, you know, slightly more perfectly coiffed type of floral design style. Whereas Paige's style is a little bit more wild, it's a little bit more avant-garde, it's a little bit more outside of the box. And it's really good for me to challenge myself to not always do perfectly coiffed and to try something a little different, a little bit more wild. So right now I'm in the process of, you know, really studying Paige's style and trying to figure out, like, you know, how to do that myself, because this is her company now. These are her clients. I just show up to make the pretty things, and then I go and I set them up, and then I go home. Like, I don't have to follow up after. I don't have to make sure that the clients actually paid after I delivered the flowers. I don't have to worry about getting orders into the market a month in advance to make sure that all of the peonies arrived. I don't have to do any of that, and it's great. I love it. Listen, I was so happy this past week. I can't remember the last time that I was that happy working with flowers. I love working in general. I really enjoy working. I don't know if it's my adult onset ADHD, but I cannot sit still. It's not my thing. This is why you guys see a lot of content from me, because even when I'm not working, I need to be doing something. And YouTube has been a great hobby for me for well over a decade at this point. This is a fantastic outlet. And, you know, I don't have any plans to stop doing this anytime soon. This is just a really great way for me to connect with people that share a passion about a lot of the other random things that, you know, that I like. Sometimes, you know, my friends here in real life, they're not all into perfume. Most of my friends don't even wear makeup. You know, I even have a lot of friends who want nothing to do with home fragrance. A lot of my friends will take a lot of my home fragrance off my hands, but you know, like they're just not passionate about it the way that I am. So this has always been a great hobby for me, but I've never viewed YouTube as a job, and I would not want this to be my job. The second this became my job, I guarantee you I would peace out because I would not want that pressure on myself. I do this because I love it. But when it comes to my actual income, what pays my bills here, it's important to me that I like what I do. I wish more than anything that everybody could have a job where they at least like what they do. Better, I wish everybody could love what they do. And there were times in my life where I had jobs that I did only because I had to pay the bills. And I remember how hard that was, how much it sucked. And as I got older, I just got to a point where I was like, I have to figure this out. I have to figure out something that I like doing, because I cannot get out of bed and continue to dread where I'm going for 8 hours during the day. So yeah, if you are someone who is in a job that you absolutely hate, I mean, I wish nothing more for you than the opportunity to be able to love what you do. Because listen, life is so short. Like I could get hit by a bus tomorrow, right? And it would suck that, you know, all I did was something that I hated, but I needed to do, right? Like everybody deserves the opportunity to be happy and to enjoy their life, and to have that balance. That work-life balance is so important. And I think that this gig right here will give me the perfect balance. I'm gonna be able to pay my bills. I'm gonna be able to enjoy myself. I'm gonna have a lot of like just personal satisfaction about knowing that I'm doing something that is making other people happy and bringing other people joy. And then I get to walk away. And that's really the update, is that the perfect opportunity fell into my lap. And I was so happy last week. I was so tired. Listen, last week was rough. Hormonally, last week was rough. I did not sleep very much at all. And I worked a lot of hours last week. I mean, that wedding last Saturday, it was 11 hours. And it was 11 hours straight. There's no real time for like extensive lunch breaks when you're doing this. So it is go, go, go. It is heavy lifting. It is moving things. It is staying out of people's ways. It's helping other people, you know, when they come up to you and they're like, oh, how do I put this boutonniere on? How does this work? You know, so there's a lot of like distractions and things like that. But man, it was so much better to just be there as the little worker bee, and I freaking loved it. So that's why I'm back at it. That's the moral of the story. See, nothing exciting, nothing crazy. I just had the opportunity to try this from a completely different approach, and I found that my niche is the floral worker bee, not the owner of the floral design company. So here I am, back to doing it. So I'm excited. The holidays are coming up, obviously, and holiday orders are flowing. So follow me over on Instagram if you want to see what I'm up to while I'm designing. There's a lot of fun things that are coming up here, a lot of really great projects. So yeah, follow me over on my Instagram and I'll keep you guys updated over there. If you have any other questions about how, you know, how I ended up here doing this, a background, or, you know, all the ins and outs of it, let me know. I'm always happy to answer those questions. I've actually had a few people reach out to me over on Instagram who are like, I'm at a point in my life where I would love to be able to love what I do for work. And so, yeah, if there's any way that I can help someone get to a point where they really enjoy what they're doing, I would love to be able to do that. So let me know. I appreciate you guys being here. I always appreciate your guys' support, your kind words, your encouragement, and your wonderful comments over on the post from the wedding this past weekend. It was a real stunner. It was beautiful. There was a lot that went into it. I didn't even show you guys everything, but it was great. It was just a lot of fun, and I'm so happy to be doing what I love. And again, I wish the same for everybody out there. So, all right, you guys, I'm gonna go. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow for, I don't know, I think I still have a bunch of perfumes to review, so we'll probably get to those, and that's it. All right, have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.